New York, and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning. On Hot 97.
Guy Jose Canseco asked J-Lo to call him on Twitter.
I heard this now.
Put up his phone number and said A-Rod, she needs to know the truth about A-Rod. Her and A-Rod got engaged over the weekend.
With a very low-key,
Just on a beach.
not over-the-top wedding ring. It's probably the size of a brick. Literally the size of a brick. I was being sarcastic. It's the most over-the-top ring I've ever seen in the history of my life. But yes, they got engaged on the weekend, and Jose Canseco couldn't let any time pass before he had to jump out there and say, Alex Rodriguez, stop being a piece of ish. Stop cheating on Jennifer Lopez. I was there a few months back with her when he called her on the phone, referring to his ex. He says he's willing to take a polygraph.
Yo, Jose Canseco.
And then he says, I challenge you to a boxing match. See, this is what I meant.
Yo, what's he doing? What's he doing? He's alcoholic? What's going on?
I don't know. He does this every few weeks. He goes out here and calls out Trump on Twitter and says he'll fight him. He'll run for office, and he makes a lot of bold declarations on.
But I don't even understand the basis. Like, where is he coming from? What's happening here?
Well,
Somebody check on Jose Canseco.
Yo, before he went on the A-Rod run, he went off on. He has 10 tweets about Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow, let me help you with your swing. I just saw one of your bats. You have no rhythm right now. And then he goes, if I can hit a softball 500 feet at the age of 55, you can hit 40 home runs in the major leagues if you let me help you. Yes, I'm talking to you, Tim Tebow. So this is what he does. Tim Tebow, let me teach you the art of power hitting. Yeah, but
the problem with you, Jose Canseco, is the fact that if Tim Tebow actually wants to work with you, you're going to end up snitching and say you gave him steroids too.
Yeah,
he says people can't trust you, man. You have no credibility.
No,
it's problematic.
He wilds out. I mean, coming on the weekend that they get engaged, that's not right.
Yo, Jussie Smollett, indicted on 16 counts, faces 10 years in jail. Yo, if Jussie Smollett ends up with more time than Paul Manafort, that is insane, bro.
Yeah, now you should say...
We are in bizarro land.
Say someone that people actually understand the crimes that they committed.
Jussie Smollett may end up with more time than Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Okay, see, now there you go. Now
Yo!
I couldn't believe when I saw it was 16 felony counts.
Yeah.
I really couldn't believe that.
It said every time he told a story.
What?
It was another count.
What?
Because you continue to lie.
What?
That's what they said. That's the report. Every time he told the story, it was another felony because he told it to different police officers, and they had to take an account. So when they looked at the paperwork, it was like, here was a lie, here was a lie, here was a lie. So every time he told the story, it was another felony.
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense for what I would understand a count to be of a crime.
I told y'all that this may get to the point where you start feeling bad for Jussie Smollett again and he wins people back over. Yeah, if he actually ends up doing time over this, he's going to win people back over.
Well, that's not worth it. I'd rather have people hate me and not be in jail. Thanks.
Well, yeah, facts. But I'm just saying, dealing with what's in front of us right now, Jussie Smollett may actually win people back over.
I cannot believe that he's facing 16 counts.
10 years.
Like if they'd said he faced a max of 1 year and, he would have ended up getting off doing volunteer work.
That was the first one we heard. Remember, it faces up to 3 years, some sort of fine, and
right,
blah, blah, blah.
And you pay the fine and do the service.
Right. That's what we first heard.
But now that he's facing 10 years with 16 counts, it's like, no, he could actually end up getting time. Can you imagine Jussie Smollett in jail? Based on the way this played out, did it seem like he'd do well in jail? That's not right. By the way, what happened to our guy, YBN Almighty Jay, got beat up in the streets of New York? I don't understand. If you've ever talked to Almighty Jay, how could you take him seriously enough to want to fight him?
But maybe they took him seriously because he's always trolling. Is that the guy that was up here trolling? He trolled with the Black China and he dated with... He's trolling.
He's just like always a goofball, but I guess some people take things seriously.
Yeah, maybe he went too far with the wrong people and got lumped up.
Speaking of too far, y'all went too far in order to go see A Boogie in the hoodie at the Queen Center Mall, yo.
He's hot out here.
But that was... People were just... Fights were breaking out everywhere like it was the end of the world. Like they got to notice the world is ending. Just start fighting. I mean, I would.
That's how scorching A Boogie is out here,
that
man.
You just have to fight. You have to go to the Foot Locker, knock over all the big extra size T-shirts, and fist fight in the Foot Locker.
Let's teenage girls, men, whatever. It's going down. That's A Boogie. That's High Bridge, New York's own. What'd you say, Cass? One?
Scorching out here.
don't agree. I don't disagree. He's absolutely scorching hot. I don't see why that makes you have to fist fight someone.
You've never seen this before?
100 fist fights at the mall over A Boogie?
It's like what is that called? It's like Black Friday.
They've been waiting all day. They didn't get to see A Boogie.
So he's like a new flat screen TV.
Yeah, I got to tell you, there was never a time in my life, no disrespect to young teenagers. I'm just keeping 1,000 with you. There was never a time in my life where there was some young teenage heartthrob male artist who I was waiting for hours to ball to see. Never in the history
But you are
of
in the Janet
never.
Jackson fan club.
Yes, but even for that, I showed up on time to the concert and I went home when it ended.
Waited behind the velvet rope like everybody else.
Now, hold on. Tribe Called Quest played. I did get to the venue like 3 hours early so I could get to the front in the...
But you didn't punch anybody in the face.
I didn't punch anybody in the face, and like I was a kid, and they were a group. These A Boogie is the same age as these kids. Why?
That's why he's such a big star to them. They feel like, yes, that's the homie. How come I can't meet with you?
Shawnee,
How come I can't get my photo for the grant?
Shawnee, you did that? Like you waited for Crisscross at the mall?
No, I never waited for anybody.
Yo, I did an event with A Boogie a few months ago out in the Bronx, and kids were waiting outside 3 hours before it started, and they were still out there 3 hours after
Hey,
it
Boogie,
ended,
man.
the ones that didn't get in.
But like he's a kid your age.
Nah, but he's a
Nah, he's
superstar.
different.
He
I
got
don't care.
hits.
But
He got
I-
platinum songs. He got
Yes.
songs with Kodak and
He's
everybody.
phenomenal. He's great. I'm happy for him. But I lived through Crisscross. Like I didn't want to go like, oh my God, I need to meet Crisscross so bad. I
That's
was like,
you,
I
man.
hated on them instead. I was like, yo, Crisscross. Get the hell out of here,
backwards.
Crisscross. I like the songs, but I was like, I'm not trying to go.
You was out there for ABC.
Yeah.
Aisha, you and the boys. You was out there for the boys.
waiting at the mall.
Yeah, so for real, you was out there. Keep it real.
So real.
I don't get it.
Yo, that's the Brosenberg
I
Report,
don't get
man.
it.